Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm a friendly tree and I'm here with more tech talk today, focusing of course on Tekken 7 and in particular on Nina Williams. What we're going to look at today is dealing with mix-ups in Tekken 7, in particular dealing with your opponent's mix-ups. So what do you do if the opponent puts you into a mix-up? This can get pretty in-depth I suppose, and there's a lot to cover, so as always bear with me and let's see what we can go through. Hopefully I can give you a bit of insight, a bit of understanding about how to deal with it and really get you to figure it out for yourself as well. So of course when it comes to mix-ups, they're very character specific, so whatever I go through today I'm just going to go through with Nina and I'm not going to show all of her mix-ups, but I highly recommend that if there's any particular mix-up that you're struggling against, that you go and you lab it yourself. Also, if you want, you can mention it in the comments and I'm happy to discuss it and mention if there's any way around it. So yes, we picked Nina and on my favourite stage is always the Arctic Snowfall. I always pick this stage just because it's an infinite stage. I'd only pick another stage if I'm doing something related to the walls, whether it be like a wall break, a floor break, a balcony break, a wall hit, wall carry, or just positioning of the walls, but that doesn't relate to what we're doing today. Let's just make sure we've got everything right. I think we'll turn the display and the player attack info off just to clear the screen a little bit. That's alright for now, but we'll change that again very shortly. So first off, what is a mix-up? Actually, I'll show you where we've got the player info. So you can see that there's a high, a mid, a low, special mid, or a throw. So mix-ups are all about the attacks you use, of course. Really, a mix-up is a situation where you're forcing the opponent to guess between different options, and really you're trying to deal damage in the situation. You're making them guess, and there's a favourable option and an unfavourable option, or there may be multiple. The basic example of a mix-up would be something like between a mid and a low, so like a down forward 1 and a down 4. Down forward 1's a mid. If they stand block, they block it, but if they crouch block, then they get hit by it. Down 4's a low. If they stand block, they get hit by it, but if they crouch block, they block it. So in this situation, there's one option for and one against. There are of course other things that they can do, but that's a very simplified view on it. Another example could be between a mid and a throw. So if they stand block, they block the mid. If they crouch block, then they get hit by the mid. If they stand block, they get hit by the throw. If they crouch block, they duck the throw. And then the last one, of course, is you can talk about the mix-ups within a throw itself. So once you've made sure that they're stand blocking, then you can make them have to guess or have a mix-up between a 1 break, between a 2 break, and between a 1+2 break. So that's an idea of what mix-ups are. So what can I tell you about this, beyond what a mix-up is? Well, let's give you some ideas of how to deal with the mix-ups. Of course, the best way to beat a mix-up is to avoid it entirely. So if there's a way for you and your character to actually avoid the mix-up, whether it be with spacing, whether it be some sort of evasive tool, whether it be applying your own pressure, whether it be sidestepping, or whatever. If you can avoid the mix-up, then you're at advantage, of course. If you can't avoid the mix-up, sometimes you can't, then I suppose it's a true mix-up and you just have to deal with it. Now, I've said the term true mix-up here, and what I'm getting at is it a true mix-up? Is it a situation, for example, we do down forward 3-4 with Nina, it hits, +7, then you do a down forward 4 or a down 4. Down forward 4 and down 4 are the same speed, a mid or a low. That means that the opponent can either stand block or crouch block. Because you're at +7, they shouldn't be able to step either option, hopefully. Okay, so in this situation, I stand block, I get hit by the low. Let's see if it'll be the mid this time. Crouch block, I block the low. I crouch block, I get hit by the mid. If I try and sidestep, I can't. So this is a true mix-up. All I can do here is guess. I mean, I can low parry, I can attack reversal, but in a basic sense, all I can do is guess still. It's either going against the standing option or the low option, the crouching option. So that's a true mix-up. I'd like to go through now just a bit of an example with Nina's down forward 3 string, okay? So everyone's familiar with it. It's her main 14 frame punisher you should be using. Down forward 3-4. Leaves you at +7. It's amazing. But there's also the final hit of it. So you can do down forward 3-4, 3+4, which is mid-mid, or down forward 3-4-4, which is a low. So that looks like a mix-up, doesn't it? If we do, let's start with down forward 3-4, 3+4. Let's start recording it, sorry. Like I said before, the best way to avoid a mix-up is to find a way, well, the best way to beat a mix-up is to find a way to avoid it entirely. So for this situation with Nina, everything after a down forward 3 is a high. So you can, for example, duck the second hit and launch. Or even if you just duck and do a while standing 4, you've still avoided the mix-up. Let's say you block the first 2 hits but you don't duck. Let's look at the speed of this. 10 frame will beat it. 11 frame will trade. And notice with the 10 frame, it floats so you can get a full juggle. You can see some risk there beyond also the duckable hit. But if I get hit by the first bit, I can't press anything. A 10 frame won't beat it. There's no way I can sidestep there. I can't do much there. If we look at the low option, so of course I can block low and I can 11 frame punish it. I can't sidestep it. If I try and crouch, well, if I 10 frame, it goes under. Crouching 1 still doesn't work, it's too fast. But I can low parry. And of course, if a 10 frame won't beat it there, then what are the odds that a 10 frame will beat it on hit? No, there's no chance. Alright, that's a bit of a breakdown of that move, but now we've also got to think about it. Do these moves come out at the same time? I've got a few ways I can test this. So we saw, let's use the down forward 3-4 on block for an example. So we saw before that a 10 frame beats the mid option, and the 11 frame will trade. So we know that comes out at 11 frames after blocking that. Whether it's on block or hit, the only thing that changes is the hit stun or the block stun of my character, or of the person being attacked. So the move still comes out at the same speed regardless. So let's look at the low option. We've just seen that a 10 frame can't beat it, but we still don't know how fast it is. It could be anywhere under that. And I can't test it exactly, but thanks to the Tekken Chicken app, I can tell you that up forward 3 is jump stance on the 6th frame. So from the 6th frame until the 14th frame where it connects, Nina's airborne. Up forward 4 from the 9th frame. So if we go 6 frame beats it, so it's slower than 6 frames. Up forward 4, it beats it. So we know it's somewhere between 7 and, well, sorry, somewhere between 6 and 8 frames, because the 6 frame beats it. So somewhere between 6 and 8 frames is the speed of that move, and the other one is 11 frames in comparison. So we're looking a 3 to 5 frame difference, okay? So what does that mean? That means that we might be able to fuzzy guard it. I mean, a 3 or 5 frame difference, you have to be a wizard to be able to see that difference consistently. But a fuzzy guard, you don't need to be seeing it, okay? We've got to tell, we've got these 2 hits before the move, and then from there we just have to know whether it's a low or a mid. We know that the low comes out faster than the mid too. So in this sense we'll be looking at blocking low then mid very fast. So let's put that to the test. Now, not a quarter circle back, by the way, because if you do a quarter circle back, you'll block the low, but if they do the mid, you're vulnerable to it. You'd have to do a quarter circle back sidestep back, but that's going to be very fast. You'd be very tough doing that at the rate and consistently to make it work. Alright, so I'm going to block low and then block mid quickly. Oh, held up. Okay, so that worked there, and as I said, it will be the same, just it's my hit recovery, so my hit stun that changes if I'm being hit, but I can still do the same sort of fuzzy guard to avoid both hits. Oh, if I'm fast enough. There we go. Yeah, you get the idea. So that's what a fuzzy guard is. Now, when we get to other options, I mean, let's look at down forward 1+2 for example. So not set. Down forward 1+2, you've got a few different things you can do. If you're at a close range, I think probably the strongest thing you could do would be like you could do a down back 3 actually, but we'll do down 2 for this example. But down forward 1+2, up forward 2. You can hit confirm the 1 for a launch. Or down forward 1+2. No, sorry. Force a habit. We're going to do down 2. Okay, so in this situation we've got down forward 1+2, which on hit leaves the attacker at crazy advantage, okay? Then we've got an 18 frame mid and a 20 frame low. So a 2 frame gap there, that's very tight. That's going to be very hard to fuzzy. We know that the mid option is faster, the low option slower. So typical way we would try and fuzzy it would be to mid to low. But with a 2 frame gap, that's going to be very difficult. So let's have a look. Let's see how well I can do this. I bet I can't. No, so I tried to fuzzy and it didn't work. That's kind of working. Okay, you can fuzzy it, but it's pretty tight. No, I can't really fuzzy it. But what you can do here is take into consideration the speed of the moves and the animations. So down 2, I mean, it's pretty fast, but it's seeable. It's seeable if you can anticipate it coming. I'm not saying that 20 frame lows are seeable, guys. I'm just saying in a situation where you know it's coming. Oh, in a situation where you know it's coming, it's a bit easier to see. Yeah, but that's where you can get the move recovery for slower situations. For different situations, I mean, it changes a bit. For example, let's look at doing. We'll do that again. Into back 1 plus. Yeah, okay. Down for 3+4, back 1+4. And let's do just a similar speed low, down 3. So in this situation, there's no way I can tell. If I'm blocking low, it's a guess. If I'm blocking mid, it's a guess. Okay, so that's all just luck there. There's no way I can do that. Even if in these situations I'm isolating it to only 2 moves, you've got to remember there are a ton of other moves there. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're always going to use the same 2 options. And this is where other things come into play with mix-up. So this is where you really got to read the opponent, okay? So if they're doing this and they're consistently doing an up forward 2, it's a safe bet. They're probably going to go for an up forward 2 again. And if they did suddenly go for a down 2, you've got to think, what are they getting from it? It's neutral on hit. It's good, but compared to an up forward 2-1, getting a full juggle, it's not really as worthwhile. So think of the risk reward as well. So if they're doing this sort of mix up, what kind of reward are they getting opposed to doing that? So a lot of the time when you're at higher health, for example, people are greedy. They're going to go for the move with the higher reward, especially if it's not that high risk. when they're lower health or when they're going to, trying to close the round, they're probably going to go for the move with the lower risk. That's often the smarter way. So down 2, for example, or something with a lower risk. So when you think about that, then it can help you make an educated guess in a situation where there's no other way to avoid it. I think that's everything I really wanted to go through with mix-ups, to give you an idea of just testing, so getting an idea of the speed and the fact that you don't have to be reacting if you know it's between 2 options and one is faster than the other. A lot of characters have these strings that end in mix-ups, but I guess Nina's pretty well known for her strings. And there are just a lot of very common mix-ups out there that if you test, you'll find that fuzzy guarding or even sidestepping or different things can get around it. Anyway, I hope you've liked this video. As always, please like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter at @AFriendlyTree. Stay tuned, because I'll probably be on Twitch at @AFriendlyTree shortly as well. Hopefully some of you guys will like to check out me struggling online. Yeah. Also, like I said, if there are any particular mix-ups of characters that you're having trouble with, feel free to pop a comment below about it, or chat to me on Twitter about it, or anywhere, and I'm happy to discuss them and see if there is an easy way to get around it or to avoid it, or if it is a situation where you've got to make a guess and got to weigh up the risk-reward and the opponent's patterns to figure it out. I hope this has been valuable to you, and anyway, I'll catch you next time.